Welcome back, guys, to another fun week of teaching and learning. This week we will be looking at holy places and pilgrimage. Remember now that pilgrimage is any journey or visit to a holy place. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify holy places. You should be able to also explain the importance of holy places. And you should also find pictures to represent the holy places and pilgrimage visited by adherents of the major world religions. Ensure that you take your notes. And if you know of anyone who needs this lesson, please don't keep this to yourself. Please forward this message to them so that they too may have an access to education. Alright, guys, so are you ready, guys? Yes, I am ready. So get out your pens, get out your books, because we are ready to go. Holy places in major world religion. In Christianity, Christians visit Jerusalem, specific place of visit, Via Dolorosa. Let's say that word again, Via Dolorosa. For the Muslims, they visit Mecca and Medina. And you have already learned about those two specific places. For the Hindus, they visit the Himalayas. For the Jews, they visit Jerusalem. This is a picture of pilgrims. Pilgrims are persons who visit holy places. What are the importance of visiting holy places? Visiting holy places are important spiritual activities, and these journeys are called pilgrimages. These activities place physical challenges on participants. Pilgrimages take a lot of sacrifices. People visit holy places to seek healing, to say thanks to God, to seek inspiration, to repent, to fulfill requirement of faith, and also to visit a site where an historical event took place. So for example, the place where Jesus was buried. People normally go there on a yearly basis to see the place or the tomb where Jesus was laid. And I say was laid because he has risen and he's not there anymore. Alright, we're going to look at holy places in Islam. For Islam, their pilgrimage will be to Jerusalem, which is their third holiest city. They would also go to Mecca, and they would also go to Medina. And let me just say this, that pilgrimage in Islam is a must. In Christianity, you can go on a pilgrimage if you like, but in Islam, it is a must. And you are expected to take a pilgrimage for at least once in your life before you die. So, in Islam, Jerusalem is the third holiest city, and I said that already. After Mecca and Medina, the Dome of the Rock is an important place for Muslims. This place commemorates the night journey taken by Muhammad. So if you remember in our previous lesson, we look at the night journey for Muhammad when he was taken into heaven by a strange winged animal. And when he went into heaven, he could see the throne of Allah, as well as he felt his presence. If you look closely at this picture, it will seem as if you are looking at, I don't know, maybe garbage around the black Kaaba. By now you'd have picked up that this picture is the black Kaaba. But if you look close, you may want to think it's garbage. But what you're seeing are people worshipping around the black Kaaba. And again, if you look closely, you will see the heads of the worshippers. And remember that the black Kaaba is located in Mecca. This picture now is called the Dome, Dome. And remember that it commemorates the night journey that Muhammad took from Mecca to heaven. And now we're going to look at holy place, the holy place for the Hindus. So for the Hindus, they would journey to the Himalayas. The Himalayas is very important to them because they believe that their gods live in the mountain. Right, guys, so that's how the Hindus are. Any area that is beautiful or amazes them, they are going to worship that area. Remember, we were speaking about topography. The Hindus are known for the worshipping of physical features. If we should look at this picture is the Himalayas. Now, this is where they would go yearly to worship their gods. For Christians, they would journey to Jerusalem. Remember that the Muslims and the Jews also visit Jerusalem when it comes on to their pilgrimage, right? So Christians would normally go to Jerusalem at least once per year because of certain historical events in Jerusalem. Alright, so let me just point out to you some facts about why Christians go to Jerusalem. They go to Jerusalem because Jesus died in Jerusalem. So Christians would normally visit this site to celebrate the death of Jesus. And not only his death, but also his resurrection. On Good Friday, pilgrims follow in the footsteps of Jesus by the way along the Via Dolorosa. And that word means way of sorrows. Visiting the place where Jesus stopped on his way to the crucifixion. No, this is Via Dolorosa. This is where Jesus walked before he actually was killed, right? And I can just imagine Jesus walking here with both sides filled with people, a lot of noise, a lot of confusion, the feeling of death or the scent of death hovered over the city, hovered over Via Dolorosa, you know, and just to really hear even the very backlashes that he would have gotten. Alright guys, this is a modern picture of Via Dolorosa. Now we're going to look at pilgrimage for Judaism. For the Jews, they would take their pilgrimage to Jerusalem mainly because King David made it the capital city, and then his son Solomon built the first temple. This temple was later destroyed by the Babylonians. Then 500 years after the temple was destructed, King Herod the Great, he rebuilt the temple. 500 years after, he built or rebuilt the temple. Also, another reason is that Jesus was crucified in Jerusalem. Now, this point would not go for all the Jews. This point, number 3, would only go for the Messianic Jews, the Jews who actually believe in the Messiah. Alright? So don't take it that, okay, it's all the Jews, not all the Jews. Alright? So the remains of the temple today is turned into what the Jews call the Western Wall, otherwise known as the Wailing Wall. So Jews would normally go to this side of the Western Wall every year to pray and to cry out to God, and also to remember that there was a time when they were persecuted for their faith. Alright? So it is important for them to go there because they can pray and write their prayers and stick them in the cracks of the wall. So if you should take a visit to the western wall, you're going to notice a lot of cracks. Alright, so this is a picture that I want to show you now. This is the western wall, guys. If you look, there are cracks in the wall, and based on what we see, you've seen hundreds of people, and I can tell you that there are other persons behind these persons who we're actually seeing now, right? And they would cry out to God. That is why it is called wailing. When somebody wails, they are crying, and they're more than crying. In Jamaican term, we would say the person a bawl, right? They wail. So guys, like I said, it takes sacrifice, right guys? So for somebody to really leave their homes and come here, it has to be important. Alright, boys and girls, we have come to the end of our lesson, so let's revise. So we have learned today about the holy place of the major world religion. So we learned that for Muslims, they would take their pilgrimage to Medina, Mecca, and Jerusalem. We have also learned that Jerusalem is the third holiest city for the Muslim. For the Jews, they would take their pilgrimage to Jerusalem, as well as the Christians. For the Hindus, they would journey to the Himalayas. And also, we have learned that pilgrimage comes with a lot of self-sacrifice, a lot of denial. We have also learned about the great temple that was first built by Solomon. Then it was destroyed by the Babylonians. You also learned that the temple was destroyed in 70 CE, and what is remained of that temple now is what the Jews refer to as the Wailing Wall. Well, boys and girls, if you have learned anything today, please leave me a comment and let me know what you have learned. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay, school is over. Thank you for coming to class today. Remember to leave me a comment. If you have any further question, please leave me that question in the comment box below. Please like my page, send it to others. Those who don't have access to their teachers, please help them to get access to this lesson. Please like and subscribe. God bless you.